In film, great openings are all about juggling. Or maybe a better word is multitasking. Getting out of the blocks and into the story early by having each of our opening scenes perform not just one, but several dramatic functions at once. But you can't confuse the viewer. It's a delicate balance to strike. So what does that really look like in practice? From Wheelhouse Films, I'm Brian, and this is Page to Screen. Today we're looking at how the wonderfully named Florian Henckel von Donnersmarck kickstarts multiple storylines in the lives of others. In its opening 4 scenes, it accomplishes several different things at once. It establishes the story world and setting, it introduces the main characters, their key relationships, it launches not just one but multiple storylines, and establishes the high stakes for them. Finally, as this is all happening, we get the film's themes visually without taking a ham-handed pause to state them outright. Impressive stuff. So let's take a closer look at these opening scenes to see how this multitasking is achieved. The film begins with 2 brief screen captions, just 5 sentences, to situate us in time and place. Then we're straight into the action. A prisoner is led down a corridor and into a tense interrogation scene. This is the first we see of our protagonist, Wiesler, the Stasi secret policeman.
Hände unter die Schenkelflächen nach unten.
It's clear this is not someone to be messed with. He's stern, humorless, extremely precise.
Was haben Sie uns zu erzählen?
Ich habe nichts getan. Ich weiß nichts.
Sie haben nichts getan, wissen nichts. Sie glauben also, dass wir unbescholtene Bürger einfach so einsperren, aus einer Laune heraus?
Nein, nicht.
Wenn Sie unserem humanistischen System so etwas zutrauen, dann hätten wir schon Recht, Sie zu verhaften, auch wenn sonst gar nichts wäre.
But this isn't just an interrogation.
Ich kann Ihnen gerne die Nummer geben.
He's teaching a class, the finer points of totalitarian spirit breaking.
Wir müssen Geduld haben mit Ihnen. Etwa 40 Stunden Geduld.
Wiesler isn't just any interrogator, he's a master, the one the Stasi have chosen to teach the craft. And with this, Wiesler and the world he inhabits are introduced in the most vivid way possible.
Bitte. Nur eine Stunde, noch ein bisschen schlafen.
Sagen Sie mir noch einmal, was Sie an diesem Tag gemacht haben.
And in case we weren't sure of the stakes for every single character in this world, we get one more chilling detail.
Warum müssen Sie ihn so lange wach halten? Ich meine, das ist doch unmenschlich.
He doesn't let anything go. Wiesler's portrait crystallizes. He's a zealot, a true believer, brainwashed to his core. Rigid in his beliefs, impenetrable in his demeanour. Not one to change his nature. And that's the masterstroke of this opening. This entire film is about how Wiesler does change. By starting Wiesler out as so absolute, more apparatchik than man, the film builds space to transform his character gradually, painfully, inch by inch through conflict. So that by the end, we see just how full his transformation is, from joyless Stasi secret policeman into a human being with empathy.
Das war richtig gut.
Scenes 2 and 3 add a crucial element, relationships. The moment we meet Grubitz, we recognise him as a scheming political animal whose sole ambition is to climb the ranks of the Stasi. It draws a clear counterpoint to Wiesler, the incorruptible. Ready for some real multitasking? Onto the theatre scene. Here we meet the rest of our main cast. Bruno Hempf, the corrupt sleazebag Minister for Culture, Georg Dreimann, the playwright, and Christa Maria Zeeland, the actress. We see that they're a couple. We're only 10 minutes into the film and we've already met all 5 characters and scanned the loyalties, values, relationships and power dynamics between them. When Wiesler takes an instant dislike to Dreimann and offers to spy on him, Grubitz dismisses Wiesler's offer for his own political reasons. But when Hempf asks Grubitz what he thinks of Dreimann, Grubitz senses that Hempf is hostile to Dreimann, Instantly reading between the lines, Grubitz steals Wiesler's idea to spy on Dreiman and sells the plan to Hemp as if it were his own, winning serious political points. It's a slick move by Grubitz. It's also slick writing, because while a rich detail for Grubitz and his relationship to Hemp, it launches the whole story, the surveillance operation against Dreiman. The writer has just built an inciting incident out of character. Before we realise it's happening, every bit of this is seeding the Stasi corruption that will eventually turn Wiesler against his own side. And to cap it all off, throughout this entire scene we have the delicious image of Wiesler, always the master spy, watching every detail through his binoculars. Not only is he spying on Dreiman and Christa Maria, he's also spying on his own people, Hempf and Grubitz. Truly, this is a perfect visual shorthand for the themes of the film. Because the more Wiesler observes both sides, the more he'll be humanized by his observation of Dreiman and Christa Maria, and disillusioned by his observation of Hempf and Grubitz. All of which will add up to the seismic transformation of Wiesler's character by the end of the film. In this one simple image, we find character, setting, conflict, relationship, and, a newcomer to our list, theme. We are well oriented within the world of the story. We can read the ambitions and tensions between the characters, and most of all we understand that Wiesler is watching the other characters because it's fundamentally who he is. But it's not who he is fated to be. How can that change happen? By this very same act of watching. In one shot we get the whole film. After just 3 short scenes, not information dumps but scenes of real drama, the film has set up the story world, introduced all the main characters, established their relationships and high stakes, painted Wiesler's portrait, pitched him against Dreiman, and launched the story. We're only 12 minutes into a 2-hour 20-minute film. That's 9% of the way. So what's the lesson for us writers? First of all, Act 1 needn't be static. Maybe the main plot of the film hasn't started yet, but the story starts the moment we fade in. Putting your characters in motion, giving them goals and inviting conflict lends itself to this kind of multitasking. Second, use every tool in your arsenal. Writing is so much more than dialogue or even action. Setting, blocking, costuming, we tend to think of these as tools of directors, and while that's true, writers can put a clear vision for each on the page. The interrogation room, Wiesler's clothing, it gives us an instant read of who, what, where, when and how, without so much as a word. Finally, be ambitious. You'll never know how much you can get done in one scene until you try. Waste nothing, dispense information through rich dramatic conflict, and your film will hit the ground running. If you like this breakdown, please subscribe for the rest of our Page to Screen series. Or if you want to seriously improve your writing, click the link in the description to check out our comprehensive screenwriting retreats launching this fall on Cape Cod.